What's up everybody, Mannun here, and you're watching Witchy Working, where we will be discussing all things witchy in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. So, we're gonna do things a little bit different this evening. I've kind of been inspired by some of the other YouTubers out there where they've been kind of like showing their coven steads or their studios and whatnot, and so I film all the time in my circle room, so I thought I would do the same. Yeah, I'm gonna follow. And I thought it would be cool to show you guys my circle room for this episode. I'll spend some time and I'll show you every piece of it, in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. So I thought it'd be fun. So I wanted to do that, and you know, we'll just get to it. So we'll start with the altar. In the meantime, roll intro. Okay, so as you can see, start with the BOS. This is my coven is Path of the Sacred Pentacle. As most of you know, I'm in a Gardnerian tradition of coven, and this is our BOS, and that's my coven symbol, so to speak. And the book is just full of Gardnerian ritual for the most part that we'll use to run circle and ritual and spells and whatnot, or mostly rituals and erecting of the temple and closing of the temple. So to move on down to the altar, we've got wooden pentacle here. Just kind of sits there, typical pentacle use. My athame that I made that myself back about 18 years ago. It's been my go-to athame ever since, for the most part. I have 3 athames, but that one is that's the one I mainly use. Incense burner. We keep it on a chain so that we can swing it and sense things, and it makes it a little bit easier to use, especially when you're sensing circle and whatnot. It really feels like you're getting the job done when you're able to swing it, and it's got some good weight to it. Bowl of salt. This box here contains incense that we usually make ourselves. Well, we always make it ourselves. That's a circle incense from the book, Scott Cunningham's complete book of oils, incense, and brews. Over here we've got a god candle, and that is Pan. Coven chalice. This black candle here is usually white. It's just a working candle. It's a candle used to light other candles and whatnot, and incense, charcoals, but we were doing some working that involved a black candle, so it's black right now. I never changed it out. Some flowers that were used over the weekend when we did some ritual. This is a goddess candle. This is Ellen of the Ways. She's a horn goddess, which I totally love, because I just love the fact that she's a horn goddess, and you really don't find many of them. To me, she's a counterpart to Kernanos, but she's not really. But I just love the fact that she's a horn goddess. Bowl of water. A wand. It's another athame. This is a bowline that we'll use from time to time. The bells. Beginning of our ritual, we do a little spurt called Bell Book and Candle, and those are the bells that are used. And really, it's just the way it starts off most of our circles. And of course, if you happen to have one, if not, a coven sword. The coven sword is used just like the athame. But it's used usually to cast a circle, and that's about it for the most part. I have a video called Tools of a Witch that you'll see all of these tools in that video and their uses, and you can just check that out. So I figured the best way to do this is just start in the east and work our way around. So let's go ahead and walk over here. So over here in the east, we start off with, just got a painting here that was started by my priestess, Lady Thelema, and looks like it's going to be more for the firewall, but it's over here right now because that's the only place to put it. Right here we've got a picture of Patricia Crowther, who is one of Gerald Gardner's original high priestesses, who's the only high priestess from Gerald Gardner who's still alive today. I got this picture from that's actually, if you can see it there, it's autographed, and I got this from my witch queen, who visited Patricia quite a bit in Europe over the years, and she had given me this as a gift, which I totally love it. And right now it's sitting on a shelf, but ultimately I'm going to try to hang it up. On this shelf is all of that's paperwork that I have to ultimately go through and categorize and file away. It's a bunch of BOS stuff, basically, that I'll end up putting in some binders, which I'll show you later, and a few other little books that just didn't have room to go on my main shelf, so I put them there. So as we move on, in Gardnerian tradition witchcraft, we have what's called puppy papers that shows our lineage. Again, we're a lineage-based witchcraft, so we tend to keep track of everything. So also, we've got, this is cool. This is a chair that was given to us by the local OTO, and I just love it. I mean, check this thing out, seriously. This thing's like seriously cool. I mean, it's like awesome. But yeah, they gave it to, I said, you know, they basically were like, hey, you know, we need to get this chair away. They gave me a call. I said, absolutely. Took one look at it and said, absolutely, I'll put that in my temple room. No problem. So we got that. Nobody really sits in it or does anything. It just looks cool. Since we're in the East, we got some like angel type fairy beings on a painting that, again, Lady Thelema, my high priestess, painted that, created that. And so then we have the altar in the East. This is the Eastern altar, so to speak. Yellow candle usually goes in the East. Little fairy house, fairy, because fairies have to do with the East, air, intellect, and whatnot. Fans, again, element of air. A bird, again, element of air. A little fairy painting behind it because of the fae beings being part of the East for the most part. Cool rocking chair, people just sitting at when need be, you know, waiting for circle to be cast or something. Shed some light over here. Got a couple more paintings. This is not done by, this is just a picture being held in a, just a picture for, you know, some angels. So this is my mother coven, Path of the Sacred Grove. This is the coven symbol for them, and this was my high priestess, has since retired, but she gave me this before she retired to hang in my room, which is cool. I love stuff like that. I love things that are passed down from coven to coven, you know, throughout the decades. And this is one of those pieces, so I totally love it. This is our coven besom. We keep it over here anytime we go to need it to besom the floor before we besom the circle area before we actually practice. So down here, got the coven Bluetooth speaker, very sacred. Everybody should have one. Just a mast, it's miscellaneous. It just looks cool. Sometimes we, you know, we'll use it from time to time, but not really. This is a cool Ouija board. It's actually like a black mirror. Like in my magic mirror video, it's the same design. It's making a magic mirror. I made it. It's basically just a magic mirror, but then I had some decals printed out that I could put on it that made it the Ouija board. That's why the letters and numbers are so perfect, because they're actually computer done, generated. I just stuck them on there. The coven fireplace. It's in the southeast corner. And it's just the best spot for it. And then there's this thing. I'm not sure what this is. Actually, we had a covener bring this to us a couple of weeks ago, and it looks really cool. And she really wanted to give it to us and keep it in the circle room. So we put it over here for right now until we actually figure out what it is. But it's pretty neat. It's like a little carrot, like a little cradle of some sorts. But it came like that though. It's all Indian. It's got fur wrapped around. It's really neat. It's really cool. But anyhow, so we're gonna move on now to the south wall, which, as we all know, the south has to do with fire. All the correspondences that have to do with that, dragons, passion, will. This is an eye that was painted by a covener that was given as a gift. Put it on the south wall for obvious reasons, because it's very fiery. This is our coven wheel of the year. We'll actually use this during Sabbath rituals, And there's like a little part ritual where you spin the wheel and between your covenanters, and you make wishes as you spin the wheel. So we'll use that from time to time during our Sabbats. And again, a little fire guy, like a djinn, I guess you could call it. Down here we have different, they're basically just like little wreaths that are per each season for the most part, even though those are all look like they're for fall. Some masks that we really don't use either, but we've used them from time to time for Sabbats, but they're really just kind of look neat. That's a statue of a goddess, but I'm not sure what goddess, and I'm not even sure if it is a goddess. It might just be a statue of a pretty woman sitting in on like a wave type deal. But then down here, we've got, you remember when you were in elementary school and you would have like cubbies in kindergarten and whatnot? This is kind of like the coven cubbies, so to speak, and our covenanters, so they don't have to carry tools and stuff back and forth every time they come to circle, they'll use these as a cubby to keep their stuff. So it's that, and we've got another little type of besom there hanging on the wall. More fiery pictures. So this was actually interesting. So I'm not sure if Egyptian or anything has to do with the south wall, but the bottom line is that this piece right here was hung up on the south wall years and years ago, and I can't get it down because it's actually glued up. I can't get it down without tearing it apart, so I just left it. That being said, I received this piece from my witch queen, which is actually an authentic piece of papyrus from Egypt, and that artwork was put on it, which I believe is Isis. Thought it was really cool, kept it, threw it up there. This is actually a piece of paper, if you can see that actually is the authentication paper for the papyrus. But anyway, so come down here to the southern altar. Again, red candle on it because south has to do with red. We got the dragon here. Again, dragons usually are tied in with the creature for the south. And down here we've got a cauldron. We always keep a cauldron in the south, and we'll use this during Sabbats and whatnot quite a bit, where we'll put candles in it, and the object is at the end of the Sabbat you jump the cauldron, and as you're jumping the cauldron you're doing this for prosperity reasons, sometimes fertility, but whoever jumps the cauldron and puts out the candles in the cauldron as they jump, they get like an extra tenfold whatever power injected into their prosperity fertility wish. So it's kind of like a game. So we move along. Got some red candles. So this is actually the chair that I use when I sit in to do the Witch in the Working videos. Funny thing is, I built it in this room and now I can't get it out because it's too big to take through the doorway and there's just no way to get it out. So now I have to leave it in here and just kind of work around it. I guess what you want to see, like when I'm actually doing the Witch in the Working videos, I'm actually facing, this is my view, except for there's a camera in front of me. So this is what I'm seeing when I'm doing those videos. You guys are seeing this. Is that a familiar sight? Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm seeing, and there you have it. So this is just another chair that we keep in the corner, that a lot of times, especially when our witch queen comes over to some of our circles, she's kind of up in age, so she'll sit most of the time and right in this chair and just kind of watch us and kind of participate from there. That mask, I just love this mask. We'll use that sometimes when someone's playing the god. We'll use that mask as a horned god representation. This is my hat. There, it's my horned hat that you guys have probably seen in the intro video. I don't wear it much, but it's really cool. Love it. Had it custom made from the Florida Renaissance Festival when it was in one year. But so, and these drums here, we got a djembe, tambourine, some other little drums. We use these all the time, especially when we're working magic and whatnot. If you're fortunate enough to have a coven that has enough people in it to where you can have one or two people stand to the side or sit to the side and drum out the beat when you're working magic, where they can start slow and work it with you and raise the energy with you. totally amazing, totally kicks ass. It's like definitely an experience. So let's move on to the west wall. Here's this is like the southwest wall. This corner piece here, this is a Hindu god. I'm not sure which one. You guys will be able to tell me in the comments below. This is more Lady Thelema, my high priestess. This is more her deal. I'm not really into the Hindu gods a lot. Not that I don't like them, it's just that damn, there's so many of them. And this is the one where she's stepping on the guy down there. So I mean, I'm sure you guys will know who it is immediately. I'm like not as smart as you guys are, but you know, it is what it is. This painting right here is, again, one of those pieces, it's nostalgic. It's a piece that's been passed down a few decades to ultimately end up in my circle room from my downline, which are from my upline, should I say, which I totally love it, and it means a lot to me. I love stuff like that that's passed down. Few things, just little trinkets and whatever, dolphins, because we're on the west wall. This little cabinet down here just holds a combination of some paperwork and some art supplies for doing spells and whatnot. So over here we've got, as you guys remember, I have that Magick mirror video. This is that mirror again that we use in circle a lot as guards. This is a mirror, it's a very powerful mirror. It's a very powerful thing. So we keep it chained and locked with these swords and chains and that lock and whatnot. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it's really a cool tool. It's a really neat tool to have. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of responsibility to work with it, but once you get it down, I mean, it's a treasured tool for sure. That being said, if you guys are interested in a magic mirror, just go to one of my videos and it'll show you how to make one. That being said, we've got this here is, I work with familiars. My coven works with familiars quite a bit. This is my familiar altar. It's I got this mirror in front that I use to communicate with my familiar, spirit familiar, obviously. And this is just kind of like a little altar set up for him. Sigil and whatnot for it, should I say. This is the Western altar. As you can see on there, blue candle for the west, blue feather, a dolphin, a bunch of seashells, seahorse, things that represent water. I got some more shells down here. And as we move right along, we've got Tabitha, the circle room witch that's always here looking at our stuff. So this is, actually I had a cat in here named Boots for the last couple of months, and for the last couple of years, I mean, and a couple of months ago she passed away. So this is actually was her scratching post, and we used it, you know, it kind of got used also as like a shelf, so to speak. This up here is candles of our coveners. These candles, when a covener can't make it to circle, will light that candle. So in essence, the covener is still, it's kind of like to honor them, saying, hey, you're still here. Even though you couldn't be here tonight, you know, you're still with us. And this is actually, when Boots passed away, we had that made. It's a paw print of her, so that she can be with us too, still going forward. So this device here that's hanging from this chain, this with the feathers on it, this is called a witch's ladder, and I'm actually probably going to do a video on that one day and teach you guys about that, if you already don't know about it. But it's a pretty neat little, it's a spell. It's basically a spell, and that's a good demonstration of it. And this is a pentagram that I've been meaning to hang up. It's actually a shelf. I've been meaning to hang it up on a wall. I stole this idea from Hearth Witch. I don't know if you've ever been to her channel. She's amazing. And saw her, she had one, saw one at Mystik Sisters, which is a local store around here, and they also sell things on the internet, and I have them in the description below. You could check them out. They got a lot of really great stuff. Okay, also, when we move along, we got this shelf here we get to. And up here we've got Bacchus, which is the god of wine, hanging above the door there, which that door goes to the outside, which is pretty much blocked off for right now because we don't want people coming in. So this is a shelf We got some of these balls here that you twist them around in your hand and they make noise. I never knew how to use them, never could figure them out. They were given to me as a gift and I thought cool, so I just kind of put them there. There's a poppet back there that was made some years ago. Some boxes full of knickknacks and craziness, which I'm not going to open up and get into. This was actually just an incense holder at some point. Some more boxes. There's one down there with a green man on it, which, that would be interesting to know what's in them. But you know what? Maybe I'll check after I turn the camera off. And like I believe this is another wine god of some sort, some kind of god of prosperity. I'm not sure, but you know, kind of just sits there. A gift. Fire extinguisher, because you know you got to play safe, and you never know when one of those candles might fall over. But here's a chalice. Some more boxes, another goddess here. Again, I'm not sure what goddess that is, but I'm pretty sure it's a fertility goddess of some kind. I believe of some kind of grain, like a grain goddess or whatnot. It just kind of looks like it. This here is a type of incense burner for the most part. A wand, another wand that's just been given to us over the years. This is a statue, I believe that's Tiamat. Again, just a gift. Some boxes, one of my Covenors of Thames that they left here. They'll come get it next time we have Circle. And in these boxes, actually, we have more, it's more familiar work. There's tools and sigils and whatnot that are in those boxes for our spirit familiars, which maybe I'll do a video on that someday about that. But that's pretty intense, and yeah, somewhere down the road I'll probably teach you guys or kind of introduce that to you guys, working with familiars and spirit familiars and whatnot. Next shelf down, we got another god statue of a sort, another goddess statue back there, another poppet. I actually made that poppet, that's why it looks like crap, but you know, whatever. This used to be our old water bowl. As you can see, there's actually crystallized salt in there. I don't know if that's gonna get into focus right. But yeah, that used to be an old water bowl. We stopped using it. Another very passionate god and goddess statue. Very cool, love it. There's some runes scattered around, yet another statue of a god. In the background there is a jug of Green Man Ales beer. I just love the jug, so I kept it. It's actually empty. And then there's that Moon wine bottle back there, which is still full of wine, which will never be drunk, but it just looked cool, so I kind of keep it. Next shelf down, black cat statue of Aphrodite, Yule log full of black candles. The only reason they're full of black candles is because we have an excess of black candles from spell working we did for crossing over where somebody passes away, and I didn't have anywhere to put them, so I stuck them in there. And little goddess statue of Diana, and a god statue of Cernunnos. Here is my circle bag that I grab when I need to run out to a circle somewhere. There's an athame in there and some other things that I would use to just go to a circle. So that pretty much wraps up the west wall. So, moving right along to the north wall. So, this is the scene that you guys see most of the time when I'm doing the Witching and Working videos. So now you get to see what's back here for the most part, because usually it's kind of bokeh'd out, which is a blurred out. So, this is some herbs, the apothecary, so to speak. Different herbs up here as we move along. Up here we've got those sucky things for the oil, you know, they're like, I don't know what they are, like you know, use them to grab oil and suck it in and put it over to quick drops. Over here in those jars is moon water that was made not too long ago. A little write up on the pentagram, the Theban alphabet. Got the moon up here. That moon actually lights up and has the different phases as the moon changes phases. The batteries in that died a long time ago, so. Down here on this shelf again, we got the second shelf down here. So these things right here are actually witch sticks, which are very cool, and you use them to find things. I'm sure you've heard about them in old movies and stuff where they find water and whatnot, but you can find a lot of things with them, things that you've lost and whatnot. And I'm actually going to do a video on those coming up soon, and I'll teach you guys how to use them. It's really cool. There's a pendulum hanging here, which is, again, I'll do a video on that coming up soon, on how to use pendulums and whatnot. Over here is where most of our oils are. Mixed in with the herbs at the same time. Some pins, markers, Sharpie markers. Every witch should have Sharpie markers. They're so incredibly useful. There's the Scott Cunningham book. Complete book of incense oils and brews. Love it, gotta have it. It's like totally like every instance I've made. I mean, this book, the pages on it are brown because the book's like over 20 years old. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've been using that thing forever. And all of these are, you know, some more herbs that we'll use to put things together. So again, it's a little humble little apothecary. Some neat little pens that we'll use to actually draw things. You know, we have some ink, like dragon's blood ink or whatnot, like right there. And we'll actually use things to, you know, use them to draw sigils and whatnot or whatever. Next shelf down, we got some crowns here. 2 on top are actually high priestess crowns. The one below is a high priest crown, and since it has the horns on it. Little pentacle with some silver cord. This is my go-to mortar and pestle. This is the one I use. That's why it's got the spoon in it to mix all of my incenses and whatnot for everything I do. This is a statue of Baphomet. I'm not going to get into Baphomet really, but you can check him out. Neat being, not the evil devil Satan that people think he is actually a god figure, so to speak, or actually a god goddess figure. It's androgynous, it's both. But over here we've got another mortar and pestle. That blue bowl used to be an old water bowl we used to use, but we really don't use it anymore. An old incense burner right there, that cauldron. Some crystals, a few crystals, some amethyst. We work our way down to the next shelf. We've got, this shelf is really a utility shelf. It's got a little bit of candles and stuff there. There's not much to do with, so you kind of put them on the shelf so they're easy to get to when you need them. And this little mortar and pestle here is a bunch of tacks, pins, and needles that we'll use for spell work and some ritual work. There's a vagina candle that I showed you in the last candle video, but I'm missing the penis video, the penis candle, which actually has me concerned because, you know, I don't know where it is. And yeah. Anyway, so this is some, you know, yarn, some string and thread, you know, just kind of useful. Different cylinder candles, some yarn, pencils. Here we've got some staffs that I never really bought a staff. These are gifts. This one here specifically was, again, this darker one here was given to me by a deceased elder in the Gardnerian tradition, which again, I just love that kind of stuff. Up here we've got the triple goddess. Triple goddess. And moving right along, we have a green man. Some artwork done by different coveners that have given to us. Again, a Celtic mirror, another piece of artwork. And this piece of artwork down here was really cool. It's a coven sister of mine, one of her students did this, and had really good detail. I love it. And this here is the northern altar, where we have Archangel Uriel, who's a representation of the north. Again, north is the color associated with the color of green, stability, earth, obviously, foundations, to be silent, and all that good stuff. So we have some stones on the altar here, some big quartz rock back there, rune stones down here. The guy who made these stones is the same artist actually who made these, who made this artwork here. But so then we move right along, and we've got, remember the candle magic spell I did for prosperity demonstration in the last episode? Well, that's the candle right there. Looks like it all burned down nice and tidy, just like it was supposed to. So good thing there, magic's on its way. So in this case, I've got some decks of different tarot cards that I've used throughout the years. In that box right there, some more. I got some more tarot cards inside. Really like using tarot cards out, and plus I just like the artwork on a lot of them. It's my go-to method of divination for the most part, like most people, to be honest, but you know, they work. These down here are actually DVDs and CDs and VHS tapes, believe it or not, of different pagan and Wiccan and occult subjects over the years that have been collected. Don't really use them anymore. Haven't used a CD for music and circle in forever. Nowadays we just use a cell phone and a Bluetooth speaker. It does the trick. More CDs down here. A lot of these are path workings that I designed Some of them you can hear on my YouTube videos, like the fairy mound or the fairy, finding a fairy companion one, for instance, or the air meditations and whatnot. But, you know, all stuff that just in the case is really not used anymore. Down here on this shelf, we got some empty jars ready to be used and filled once we need them. And a few more little CDs and whatnot. The bookshelf. Many titles collected over the last 25 years or so. All different occult practices, not just Wicca and witchcraft, but many things. I've studied a lot of different traditions, different occult arts, so to speak. Most of these books are very aged. Repeat themselves, a lot of them, but you know, that's a lot about learning this stuff, is you start reading books and they start to repeat themselves. They all have something a little bit different, but in the end, they really start to repeat themselves. That's one of the things I've learned over the last 25 years, is that it starts to get the same thing spit back out, especially in Wicca and witchcraft. Down here, these are books you'll never find in Barnes & Noble or any bookshelf. These are all handwritten BOSs from Gardnerian tradition, different traditions, Alexandrian tradition. But all of those are books that are personal BOSs. This is just a few. There's many more. But then these two books down here are actually blank, waiting for that stuff to go into those, which is more BOS stuff. And down here we've got baskets that we used during Imbolg and Beltane. That being said, let me show you guys what the circle floor looks like, or the circle room, when the lights are out and we're kind of standing here in circle. Now the only thing on there is a couple of black lights up on the ceiling. So, and the circle, as you can see, glows on the floor. And we have the, starting here, this demon says, to know. And then it gets to the east with this eastern triangle, which is just, you know, the eastern symbol. To will. Then we get to the south with the southern symbol, to dare. And we get to the west with the western symbol, and silence, to be silent. And then we're back to the north again. And also I'll show you the magic mirror we had here in the west. And so as you can see, the symbol there, that glows also. And then we have the tetragrammaton just above it. So that's it. That's my circle room. I was happy to share it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got a little something out of it. That being said, leave some comments in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, obviously, just let me know. You know, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell to remind you of future videos, and we will see you later on the next episode. Thank you. Blessed be.